Alright, hello everybody, it is I, Granorite, and here we are back with another episode of Let's Play Pokemon Emerald with our Gen 3 type challenge of Bug type, our third Bug type team out of 4. This is playthrough number 50, we have 23 more to go after this. So, what we're going to do is what we always do, we're going to look at our Pokemon's backgrounds, biology, get them up to level 7, and then make our way towards Westboro. We will play this episode until we get Wurmple up into Dustox. So we have Pineco here, has Sturdy for its ability. Pretty decent stats here. Currently knows Tackle and Protect. What do we know about Pineco? Pineco is a medium fast leveling rate Pokemon. Will evolve at level 31. Pineco is an insectoid Pokemon encased in a blue-green pine cone-like shell that protects it from bird Pokemon. It has red eyes and no visible limbs, along with a single spike on top of its head, which is supposedly its stem. It makes its shell thicker by gluing tree bark to its body. The glue is made of fluid that Pineco spits out, which hardens when it is exposed to air. Pineco's shell becomes bigger and thicker as more tree bark is accumulated. Older Pineco are very large in size. Unbothered by the added weight of its shell, Pineco patiently hangs from a tree branch in tropical and temperate forest, waiting to prey on flying insects. In Alola, its favorite prey is Cutie Fly. Typically immobile, it will drop to the ground and explode as someone shakes its tree while it is eating. And our Gen 3 Pokedex information for Pineco, Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald all say Pineco hangs from a tree branch and patiently waits for prey to come along. If the Pokemon is disturbed while eating by someone shaking its tree, it drops to the ground and explodes with no warning. Fire Red says it hangs and waits for flying insect Pokemon to come near. It does not move about much on its own. Leaf Green says it likes to make its shell thicker by adding layers of tree bark. The extra weight doesn't bother it. And that is our information on Pineco. Next we have Wurmple, has Shield Dust for its ability. Decent stats, knows Tackle, String Shot, and Poison Sting. Will evolve at level 7 and then at level 10. Wurmple is a medium fast leveling rate Pokemon. Wurmple is a small caterpillar-like Pokemon. Its body is mainly red, with a cream underside and face. It has large yellow eyes with dark pupils. It has one sharp yellow stinger on its head and 2 of them on its rear. It has a tall, erect red spine behind its forehead and a similar, smaller spine behind that. It has small spikes running down the top portions of its body and 5 pairs of stubby white limbs. Wurmple has suction pads at the tips of its feet, which allow it to cling to grass or tree branches without slipping. It can spit white silk that turns gooey when exposed to the air. To defend itself, it can release poison from its tail spikes, which can weaken foes. Wurmple's diet consists of leaves and sap, the latter of which it gets by pulling bark off trees. Wurmple are abundant and live in forests. It is unknown why Wurmple evolves into either Silcoon or Cascoon. Not even Wurmple's appearance gives a hint to which species it will evolve into. Taillow, Swallow, and Starly are the natural predators of Wurmple. And our Gen 3 Pokedex information for Wurmple. Ruby says, using the spikes on its rear end, Wurmple peels the bark off trees and feeds on the sap that oozes out. This Pokemon's feet are tipped with suction pads that allow it to cling to glass without slipping. Sapphire says Wurmple is targeted by Swallow as prey. This Pokemon will try to resist by pointing the spikes on its rear at the attacking predator. It will weaken the foe by leaking poison from the spikes. Emerald says it sticks to tree branches and eats leaves. The thread it spits from its mouth, which becomes gooey when it touches air, slows the movement of its foes. And Fire Red and Leaf Green says it lives amidst tall grass and in forest. When attacked, it resists by pointing its venomous spikes at the foe. And we're glad to have it. Next we have Venonat, raises accuracy. Decent attack and special defense and speed. Currently knows Tackle, Disable, and Foresight. Venonat will also evolve at level 31, just like Pineco. Medium fast leveling rate Pokemon. Venonat is an insect Pokemon with a spherical body covered in purple fur. The fur releases a toxic liquid, and it spreads whenever shaken violently off their bodies. A pink Pinsir-like mouth with 2 teeth, stubby forepaws, and a pair of 2-toed feet are visible through its fur. Its limbs are light tan. There's also a pair of white antennae sprouting from the top of its head. However, the most prominent feature on its face are its large red compound eyes. Venonat's highly developed eyes act as radar units and can shoot powerful beams. Venonat can be found in dense temperate forest, where it will sleep in the hole of a tree until nightfall. It sleeps throughout the day because the small insects it feeds on appear only at night. Both Venonat and its prey are attracted to bright lights. And our Gen 3 Pokedex information for Venonat: Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald all say Venonat is said to have evolved with a coat of thin, stiff hair that covers its entire body for protection. It possesses large eyes that will never fail to spot even minuscule prey. Fire Red says its eyes act as radar, enabling it to be active in darkness. The eyes can also shoot powerful beams. Leaf Green says lives in the shadows of tall trees, where it eats bugs. It is attracted by light at night. Next we have Yanma, which has speed boost for its ability. Decent stats, being a single evolution. Currently knows Tackle and Foresight. Yanma is a medium fast leveling rate Pokemon. Yanma is a large red insectoid Pokemon that resembles a dragonfly. Compared to its long, thin abdomen, its thorax is short and wide. It has 3 pairs of gray two-toed legs and 2 pairs of wings with red bands on them. The see-through wings are described as frail and thin. A bright green mask marking covers most of its face, and it has 2 spikes on top of its head. Its blue eyes can see all around its body at 360 degrees without even moving its head. This allows Yanma to have a high evasiveness. The end of Yanma's tail has 2 flat extensions from the sides and 2 gray spikes in the center. Yanma is a skillful flyer. It can make sudden stops, turn in midair, and hover in place by flapping its wings at a high speed. Yanma's eyes ensure the prey will not escape its sight, even when behind. It can also generate shockwaves capable of breaking glass or even launching a house skyward by flapping its wings very fast. Yanma is often found in wooded and swampy areas. It hunts insects for food, using its eyesight to spot and its flight abilities to pursue prey. Yanma is also territorial, flitting around to guard its territory. Yanma equals the team MVP. Sure, Crescendomon. Our Gen 3 Pokedex information for Yanma: Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald all say Yanma is capable of seeing 360 degrees without having to move its eyes. It is a great flyer that is adept at making sudden stops and turning in mid-air. This Pokemon uses its flying ability to quickly chase down targeted prey. Fire Red says its large eyes can scan 360 degrees. It looks in all directions to seek out insects as its prey. And Leaf Green says if it flaps its wings really fast, it can generate shock waves that will still shadow areas in the area, windows in the area. Yeah, that's the proper clip for Yanma, Crescendomon. And then we have Pinsir. It has Hyper Cutter for its ability. Good stats, of course. It knows Vice Grip and Focus Energy right now. Pinsir is a slow leveling rate Pokemon. Pinsir is a bipedal Clopoteran insectoid Pokemon with a wide, dull brown body divided into segments by thin lines. On top of its head is a large pair of gray, spiky pincers on top of its head. We have so many Yanma clips. In its mouth are many long, flat teeth arranged horizontally, and it has triangular eyes. Capable of seeing color to some degree, Pinsir appears to be attracted to the color green. Its legs are short and thick, while its arms are long and thin. It has 3 claws on each hand and foot. 2 of its toes face forward, and 1 faces backwards. Pinsir can use its pincers to crush, toss, bludgeon, or tear opponents, lift things twice its weight, and shatter logs. Captured prey is kept in place by the piercing thorns and sheer strength of Pinsir's horns, and will not be released until they are torn in half. Pinsir's horns are quite flexible, as depicted in Pocket Monsters Carnage trading cards, where they have a wide range of motion. In addition to hunting prey, it is shown that in the Pokemon the Series episode A Sappy Ending that it enjoys tree sap. Pinsir lives deep in the temperate forest and jungles. Pinsir's a horrible Pokemon. It got beat by a newly evolved Metapod that only uses Harden in the anime. That is true. So Pinsir burrows underground and hides in treetops on nights cold enough to render it immobile. In Pokemon Sleep, Pinsir burrows itself into the ground to sleep during cold nights, but its pincers can be seen sticking out of the ground as it slumbers. In Alola, it has a rivalry with Vikavolt and gets along with Heracross. Pinsir are known to judge each other based on their pincers. The pincers determine its popularity with the opposite gender based on how thick and oppressive it looks. And our Gen 3 Pokedex information for Pinsir, Ruby says, Pinsir is astoundingly strong. It can grip a foe weighing twice its weight in its horns and easily lift it. This Pokemon's movements turn sluggish in cold places. Sapphire says, Pinsir has a pair of massive horns. Protruding from the surface of these horns are thorns. These thorns are driven deeply into the foe's body when the Pinsir is closed, making it tough for the foe to escape. Emerald says their pincers are strong enough to shatter thick logs because they dislike cold. Pinsir burrow and sleep under the ground on chilly nights. Fire Red says its two long pincer horns are powerful. Once they grip an enemy, they won't release until the foe is torn. And Leaf Green says if it fails to crush foes and its pincers, it will swing around and toss the opponent. Woo! Alright, let's get up to level 7 and then read another biology. So I have thought of something that we could do in Fire Red and Leaf Green to give us a little diversity from these playthroughs, Christianabon. So, by the way, for Pineco, we are looking for attack and defense. So we want Poochyenas, and if we run into a Seedot, we also want one Lotad. So for Fire Red and Leaf Green, to give us a little diversity from our teams that we're doing here in Emerald, we're going to make all the Pokemon we catch shiny. So we're going to have all shiny Pokemon in Fire Red and Leaf Green to give us something a little different. That's right, ooh, shiny. Where are all the Poochyenas? You gotta hit it, Pineco. You have to hit it with your face. I know it is surprising that for Pineco that we're getting defense on it. I figured you would have to leave pretty quick. Yeah, at least the team does have moves to use, unlike the last team, full of legendary Pokemon that were worthless at the beginning of the game. I hope you have a great rest of your day and a good week in Christianabon, and we'll talk to you on Monday. Assuming we're not still streaming when you get back. Usually these first episodes are a little shorter. Thanks, I'll let her know you say Happy Mother's Day. Same to your wife. Alright, let's do Pinsir, which wants attack and speed. So Poochyenas and Zigzagoons. All the Poochyenas, no Zigzagoons. All the Wurmples, holy moly. We already have one, thanks. Oh, freaking Seedot. We haven't seen one Zigzagoon. We see a Seedot? Really? Hooray! And we learned Bind. Ooh, that's such a good move. Now, Yanma wants attack and HP, so we want Wurmples and Poochyenas for Yanma. We're not going to trade its speed, because it has speed boost, and its speed just goes up anyway. That was a little close. The funny thing is, String Shot does absolutely nothing against Yanma because it just automatically negates it at the end of its turn. Let's go heal again. Alright, does that do it? Yes. And we learned Quick Attack. Very nice. Alright, Venonat wants special attack and speed, so we would like Zigzagoons and Ralts. We found all those Ralts earlier, now we're not going to see any. Probably should just go heal. Get out of here. Alright, let's just go heal. We're not fighting anything anyways right now. Let's get back up to full health so we don't find something and then get knocked out against it. Like we would have just there. We only had 9 HP. Where are the Ralts? They can be here somewhere. We need to find a Ralts. Good tackle was a really good crit. Well, we're getting all the raccoons, so it's nice. Come on, we're so close. Hooray! And last but not least, we have Wurmple, who wants defense and special defense. So we want C-Dots and Low-Tads. So we're going to go ahead and swap Poison Sting out. Hey, get out of here! That wasn't very nice, beating up on my Wurmple. Oh my gosh! Wurmple's not going to do anything because these other Pokemon just keep bullying it. I gotta find the right Pokemon. Of course, no Lotads now. That's a C-Dot. There's a Ralts, which is what we wanted for Venonat, but we couldn't find any then. Notice how we haven't gotten one poison yet? Well, I think we got one on that C-Dot, actually. Oh my gosh, let me go away. It's really frustrating with the Ralts, though. We're so close. Hooray! And we get our first evolution already. We get Cascoon. Oh, that's not spelled correctly. Alright. Doesn't really get a boost to stats or anything, but gets shed skin for its ability. So Cascoon. Cascoon is a round cocoon-like Pokemon. It is covered in purple silk, except for 2 holes where its red eyes are visible. The soft silk hardens into a tough cocoon that is able to endure attacks, and Cascoon will not move even when it is attacked. However, it never forgets the pain it endures and seeks revenge upon evolution. It lives in forest where it hides underneath large leaves and inside the gaps of tree branches. Additionally, it camouflages itself by attaching dead leaves to its body. As the cells create energy for evolution, the inside of the cocoon becomes hot. Cracks start to form in its casing when evolution is near. Cocoon silk is said to be thin yet strong, with a luster and texture superior to the silk from its counterpart Silcoon. Cascoon silk is used to make high-quality clothing. In our Gen 3 Pokedex information for Cascoon, Ruby says Cascoon makes its protective cocoon by wrapping its body entirely with a fine silk from its mouth. Once the silk goes around its body, it hardens. This Pokemon prepares for its evolution inside the cocoon. Hello, Rosebella. Welcome thank you for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Sapphire says, if it is attacked, Cascoon remains motionless, however badly it may be hurt. It does so because if it were to move, its body would weaken upon evolution. This Pokemon will also not forget the pain it endured. Emerald says, to avoid detection by enemies, it hides motionless beneath large leaves and in the gaps of branches. It also attaches dead leaves to its body for camouflage. And Fire Red Leaf Green says its body, which is made of soft silk, hardens over time. When cracks appear, evolution is near. And that is our information on Cascoon. We are happy to have it on the team. And we're going to start off with Pineco for this first fight, I think. We're going to heal up, and then let's go fight some trainers and start making our way towards Rustboro. Tackle. Good hit, Pineco. Wow. Alright, we're going to swap Yanma up for this next fight. We are the ultimate bug trainer. Let's swap quick attack up and just use it instead of tackle because it does the same damage and it's got better accuracy and it's priority. All better. Oh, we're so fast. Very nice. We have speed next. Let's let Venonat take on the Zigzagoon. Tackle. Tackle. Keep it going, Venonat. That was a pretty big hit. Don't really like that. We hit it back with a critical, so that's nice. Gets past all those growls it did. Now, the Talo is dangerous, but we're just going to throw out our powerhouse, Pinsir. Vice grip. That's right, get out of here. Alright, let's grab some berries. Speed through the berry pickup part here. And then let's beat up on another Zigzagoon. We're just gonna tackle each other back and forth. We win though. We win these. And then Shroomish will go to Yanma. That's who we're wanting the HP stats on. Gonna make it a chalky dragonfly. Should be easy for us as long as we don't get effect spored. Oh, and there's the paralysis at the end. That's okay, we're gonna heal. We're right outside of Petalburg, so that's not a problem. Grab a potion. We'll heal up and then get past this little cutscene with Wally Blah, 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 blah. There we go. I'll just dump, yeah. Let's let Venonat beat up on this Zigzagoon again. Alright, and we're gonna swap Pineco and Cascoon in here. I didn't realize it. Wasn't even paying attention that it was using Bide. We'll be okay though. We just need to pay attention if it uses it again. Ideally, we just get a poison on it. Alright, well, it's low enough health now that we don't care that it uses Bide. Venonat's still up front, which is fine. We'll let him beat up on a Magikarp. Skip past this fight because it's just a gimme. Alright, let's swap Pinsir out for this next fight. Against the first rich kid Zigzagoon. Lady Cindy. Alright, we're gonna start off with a Focus Energy. Get our crit chance a little higher. Really good damage, Pinsir. Didn't even need the Focus Energy. Alright, we're gonna go heal just so we can keep pushing past these next fights. Alright. Yanma will take on the Wurmples. Easy peasy. But so fast. Not that it needs the speed against the Wurmples, but it's got it, I guess. think it's maxed out after this next one. Yep. Alright, and then we'll let Pineco take on this next fight, or attempt. Actually, no, because we've lost to this one before. Surprisingly, we're gonna let Pinsir just take out this Poochyena. We're not gonna pull any punches on it. Just get past the talking and get to the fighting. Stop that. Nice. Alright. Let's swap Pineco up to start this next fight. Excuse me. Howl at me all you want, let me go. Alright, we're just gonna speed through this because it's just gonna be a slugfest. Oh, yay! It hurts so much. I want your leech lives to stop doing so much damage to me. Well, we survived. Barely. Alright, let's go heal. We'll put Cascoon up front as we go through the forest, just in case we run into another Silcoon or Cascoon. Because we're going to keep doing this episode till we get to level 10 anyway, so we can get the evolution on screen. No. No. Alright, well we didn't get one, so we'll come back to there. Pinsir goes up. Easy peasy. Alright, next fight starts with the Lotad. Very nice. We'll We'll swap for the Shroomish. We go to Yanma. Another speed boost. All right. Double battle. Alright, let's take out the Lotad first. Oh, good flinch. Hey, Goku-san! Thank you for the follow as well. Welcome to the channel. You have a problem with your headphones so you can't hear me, so reply to me in chat. I would appreciate it. Thanks for the follow. Alright, well, there's the bide. Good critical. Alright, well, let's swap Pinsir up and let it take on some Magikarps. Very nice. Keep it going. All right, so let's grab these berries. Grab this X item. And then let's swap Cascoon back up. We will grab Cut. And heal up. Now let's go get Cascoon up to level 10 so we can get Dustox Evolution. And that's where we'll end our episode for today. Alright, so we're looking for other cocoons. Get out of here, come on. Oh my gosh. There's one. Now we just need to wake up. Poochyenas are going to be the death of us. Alright, there's level 9. Excellent. We don't want to poison Sting Cascoons because they're poison type. No, they're just bug type. We could poison them. We don't gain the poison typing until we evolve. Alright, well, let's go heal. Nothing. Come on. Cascoon Silcoons. Want those defense EVs. Two more looks like it'll do it. Well, we'll go heal since we just took a bunch of damage from that Wurmple. Aw, come on! Alright, this'll do it. All we wanted was to get this evolution this episode. That'll do it. Dust tags. And we learned Confusion. Alright, so Dustox's ability is back to shield dust, just like Wurmple's was. We'll go ahead and move Confusion up to the top. Decent boost to stats and everything. Very defensive Pokemon. What do we know about Dustox? Well, Dustox is a moth-like Pokemon with 2 pairs of wings. It has a purple egg-shaped body with a jagged fringe on its rear. Its tattered green wings are wide and flat, forming a disc shape around its body. They have red markings in the form of rings and streaks, a darker green line around the edges, and contain toxic dust. This Pokemon has 2 pairs of red stubby legs and yellow stylized compound eyes. There is a pair of fuzzy yellow antennae on top of Dustox's heads, which are smaller on a female. These antennae are used to seek food. Dustox is nocturnal and is instinctively drawn to light. Swarms are attracted by bright lights of cities where they wreak havoc by devouring the leaves off roadside trees. When attacked, Dustox unleashes toxic scales from its wings. These toxins are powerful enough to make even a pro wrestler sick. As a result, people often have a difficult time driving Dustox swarms away from settlements. It lives in forests, fields, and mountains. And our Gen 3 Pokedex information for Dustox, Ruby says Dustox is instinctively drawn to light. Swarms of this Pokemon are attracted by the bright lights of cities, where they wreak havoc by stripping leaves off roadside trees for food. Sapphire says when Dustox flaps its wings, a fine dust is scattered all over. This dust is actually a powerful poison that will even make a pro wrestler sick. This Pokemon searches for food using its antenna like radar. Emerald says it is a nocturnal Pokemon that flies from fields and mountains to the attraction of streetlights at night. It looses highly toxic powder from its wings. And Fire Red and Leaf Green says it scatters horribly toxic dust when it senses danger. They tend to gather in the glow of street lamps at night. And that is our information on Dustox and where we will finish this episode for today. We do hope you all enjoy this episode, and we'll be back Monday with more Pokemon. Until then, we will see you next time.